former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz, the first big business heavyweight to consider jumping into the 2020 election. So we've got a new segment for you, and we're calling this The Fast Take, where the traders weigh in on some of the biggest news of the day. So let's take a listen to what Schultz said about his potential presidential run last night on CBS's 60 Minutes.
I am seriously thinking of running for president. I will run as a centrist independent outside of the two-party system. We're living at a most fragile time. Not only the fact that this president is not qualified to be the president, but the fact that both parties are consistently not doing what's necessary on behalf of the American people and are engaged every single day in revenge politics.
So, should Howard Schultz go from the Starbucks corner office to the White House Oval Office? And the reaction so far is very interesting because there seems to be some backlash on both sides of the aisle.
Well, my backlash is the independentness of it. That's terrible, I think. That is, just a terrible dynamic that really could potentially be counterproductive, right? I think that he needs to run. He is a Democrat. I think he needs to run as a Democrat. Otherwise, if he really doesn't want Trump to be president, I think that this could enable him to become president by splitting that Trump vote.
It's terrible if you want a Democrat to win. It's fantastic if you want President Trump to be reelected. And if you look at President Trump's tweet today, basically daring Howard Schultz to get in. I mean, he's baiting him to come in. Not smart enough, doesn't have the guts, those types of things. It would be a windfall for President Trump if Mr. Schultz ran as an independent.
If I am a shareholder, should I be concerned? Should I be concerned that there could be boycotts from both Republicans and Democrats? And should I be worried that perhaps Howard Schultz could sell some of his stock during this presidential run?
I'd be less worried about the capital markets dynamics. I'd be very concerned about a sense that the company is going to do things that are politically correct or politically expedient at the expense of earnings. And there's, Starbucks has had plenty of opportunities to digest this posture for the last 2 years. This is no surprise to anybody that Howard Schultz is doing this. So as a Starbucks shareholder who remains long through what's been a very good run, I'm not too worried about it.
I don't think they'll be political, though. I just think it's a backlash among their customers.
Right, that's what I mean. No,
I don't know if that's what you're saying. I'm not worried about him selling his stock either. Put it in.
Well, those are two separate questions in terms of,
I don't think boycotts will do any real damage, though. Rarely do boycotts ever get that long in the tooth and ever really have a resounding effect on the stocks. So I don't think that's the major issue here. I think Karen has the biggest issue. You want him to run as a Democrat.
All right. So who would be the best CEO to run for president? We wanted to ask the traders. Each have their own picks. Guy, what's yours?
We talk about the company all the time, Lockheed Martin, but Marilyn Houston's been there since 1983, University of Alabama. She went to Columbia Business School, Harvard Business School. She's been CEO of the company, I think, for the last 6 years. If you think about it, if anybody would understand government in that capacity, it would be somebody in the aerospace defense industry. Look at what she's done for that company. Look at some of the deals she's done, and sort of look at her background. I think she'd be a perfect choice for President of the United States.
Tim?
I like Mary Barra. And again, the way she's handled GM, first of all, that's arguably Boys Club. She's been in the middle of one of the most important industries in the world. She's, I think, been a dominant player. She's been a free thinker. She's incredibly well educated. She knows how to run a big business that's a global reach. She knows how to operate in a regulatory environment. She's got an industry that she's had to make some tough decisions about how that decision needs to go forward that are contrary to how they've been successful.
Karen?
I love both of those two picks, by the way. Mine, of course, would be Jamie Dimon, not just because I love Jamie Dimon, but I actually think Jamie Dimon is a proven leader in the depths of the absolute worst crisis we've seen. He was so far above everyone else, and I think he can work together. When he does his annual letter, he lays out a lot of things beside just banking, right, and the economy. It's a lot broader than that. It's about what does America need to move forward, and how do we work together to get that to happen. Obviously, I think that the stigma of being a bank CEO is still, there is still something to that, right? I believe he's a Democrat, would run as a Democrat. I think he would be great, that bank stigma, and him saying I'm not going to do it, but you never know.
You never know.
That would be my choice.
Steve?
General Dynamics, Phoebe Novakovic. The biggement headwind would be pronouncing the last name. But the other thing is, you look at the resume. She has a background with the CIA, the Pentagon, Office of Management and Budget. This is a woman who is steeped in experience. I don't think she likes the limelight. I don't think she would do it, but I think she would make an excellent president.